This is your chance to hear it, so let her tell it. People on the streets, says Sabrina speaks. Tune into the show, she will let you know. Tell all your friends and family. Real talk is no joke. You get the news straight up from grassroots and concerns. You can hear with some people gone. So tell all your friends to tune in to
Good evening, Cayman. I'm Sabrina Turner, and welcome to Sabrina Speaks, your daily dose of clarity, truth, and community insights. Every weekday from 5 to 6:30 p.m., we're tackling the issues that affect you, from national headlines to grassroots concerns. Whether you're in traffic or winding down your day, this is your chance to hear it straight and speak your truth. So buckle up, Cayman. We're not holding back.
This is the show. We gotta let you know. Now we got to go.
And now here's Sabrina.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Thursday edition of the Sabrina Speak Show right here on CMRTV.com and definitely streaming live from all of our other social media platforms. That is Instagram, Facebook. We are pleased to have you join us here this evening for yet another informing, engaging show as we showcase this evening one of our artists, storytellers, and poets right here from the Cayman Islands. And her name is Miss Nasaria Suckoo. It is an exciting time to be able to showcase her. She has a book that is new, and it's called Buttered Bread and Callaloo. So we're going to get not only to know more about Nasaria, but also to get a feel of what it's like to be an artist here in the Cayman Islands, what it is to be in that environment, and of course, to know more about her latest release. I'm excited to be here with you today, and I hope that your day has been going well thus far. For those of you who tuned in to the Cold Hard Truth this morning, I did my best with being, with getting into, I think Sandra mentioned something about cutting off the fat. But that was, again, I hope that I put a lot more context into what she was trying to get you informed about. And I see where there's a part 3 tomorrow, and I'll be back on with Sandra tomorrow on the Cold Hard Truth again, 7:30 in the morning. So those mornings of sleeping in just a tad bit hour that, you didn't have to be ready. Sandra pulled me out of bed, even in the morning now. Can you imagine that? But it's great to be back, and welcome to all of you. Miss Connie, welcome. You're the first to comment today. And it is a pleasure, always a pleasure to have you here and have everyone, whether or not you comment or not. It is just a difference when you have an audience, and an engaging one like you all are. And let me tell you something, it is a different atmosphere. It's a different feeling when you actually engage with me, and what we can share, what we can learn from each other as well. Shaka Zulu, good evening. It is a pleasure to have you here. Second one to comment. Hoot, hoot. Good to you. Good for you. And I hope that you enjoyed this morning's program as well. But this evening, again, is no different than other evenings in a sense where the change in conversations, but you are also invited to join in and participate as we get, as I said, to know more about Miss Nasaria and what is going on. Yesterday evening, I know a lot of you were a little bit ticked that I left you 10 minutes before time. And the discussions that led after that in regards to sustainability, which was our topic. I want to thank Honorable Catherine Ebanks-Wills for joining us and sharing some light on the latest developments there, that most recent cabinet approval. But also the conversations that led after that obviously was very emotive. And it always is when you talk about immigration reform, Caymanian, who we are embracing and making sure that we are protecting who we are as a society. Who else is going to fight for us but us? And I feel that yesterday again was another hit. Those stats, I'm quite sure Sandra knows what that is eating, but we continue to grow this platform here with the views. Now, we know that a lot of you are leaving work and a lot of work, if you are leaving work and you tune in sometimes a little later, that's okay. That's the good thing about these forums is that even if you don't get us live, you can always almost do like a Netflix thing where you binge. And I know that I'm getting feedback from all of you in regards to that. And I thank you for your support. Hi, Miss Donna in class, and good evening. Loving the tones today, Sabrina. A trying, Donna, God knows a trying, a trying. And I'm hoping that it's bright enough. I'm still working on the lights, but so far, in all honesty, you guys have been pleased. I know that Miss Lucille would be a little upset because the beautiful arrangement, I'm trying to save that as much as I can, but it's really, it's going. I just wish that they could have lasted just a tad bit longer, but I'm really not a green thumb either. So if I look at plants too hard sometimes, unless it's periwinkles, they're the only thing that lasts in my garden. Usually everything really, I'm horrible with plants because I'm afraid of frogs. Hi, Jim. Welcome to class. Hello, Miss Sabrina. You and your set look wonderful. Thank you. Just for all of you. If it's pleasing on the eyes, more than likely, you'll probably stay for the conversation and also engage. And that's the key. Hi, Miss Barbara G. It is a pleasure to have you here. It is the eve before Friday. Why not? Why not ease into the pre-weekend and definitely make it be pleasing on the eyes? Yes, I try. Honestly, I really do. I take a lot of pride into how I present. And this is not just now that people are getting to know me. This has always been who I am, but it is indeed a pleasure to, you guys actually see that. But it does wonders for how I feel about myself because only me can control that. But I'm so pleased for all of you who were turned up early for class today. And again, for those of you just joining us, it's going to be an exciting conversation as we get to see it through the lens and get to hear more from the lens of an artist here in the Cayman Islands. I think we take a lot of them for granted. Understanding innovation is an area that I have said more than once is a bit lacking here. We need to harness that environment a little bit more to creatives, the arts, that scene. When you say arts, do we even understand what that means? Are we doing enough? Some of the challenges that, are faced with artisans and just showcasing those. And it is most fitting to have someone like Miss Nasaria to break this conversation here today, because it delves right into her being able to showcase her book, and maybe she'll even give us a little sneak peek at what's inside of this buttered bread and callaloo. Now, how you say that? Butter bread in callaloo, right? Yeah, butter bread and callaloo. For me, it butter bread and Milo. Oh yeah, I like my Milo. Hi, Marshall. It is a pleasure to have you here. Haley, good evening. I enjoy the cold hard truth with you and Auntie Sandy this morning, and loving your show, Sabrina Speaks. Indeed, it is my honor and to be here again. Miss Dawn, good evening. Welcome to the show. And Miss Marjorie, hello to you as well. Yes, we're building it up here, and I'm hoping that all of you are. Wow, we got a caller. Let's see. We got an early caller. Good evening, caller. You're live on Sabrina Speaks.
Good evening, beautiful. I just called in to tell you how lovely you look.
Aww,
Always well dressed from day one, and you're gonna be like Marie Grant. Even after you get old, you gonna still dress up.
I hope you know.
And I'm calling no more. That's a lady. She was old, but she was up in her swing every evening with her hair, doing her lipstick. So you gotta be like her.
Thank you very
beautiful.
Much,
I know you can match colors. I know that long time, that not just now.
Thank you very much, Michelle. Just how you're a perfume connoisseur when it comes to
Yeah, I won't be.
fragrances.
Well, I call in engagements today. I won't be calling anymore because I gotta go out this evening.
Oh, okay, okay, all right.
But I just called to say hi, beautiful. You're
Thank
always
you.
don't care what people say. You know how to match. You know no ragamuffin and no clown. Your dress is nice.
Thank you very much. Thank
You,
you
you
very
know
much.
no clown. You know no cookie. Okay.
Thank you. Have a good evening. Be safe on the road now. Hi, Mr. Fullerton. Long time no see. I hope you're doing well. And thank you for being a guest, being one of those viewers who are watching us. Now, as I promised, I'm going to get the day started, giving my guests some time to join me here. I don't see where they're hanging out in the back as yet. But making every day a positive one, sharing this with you. Go through the days ahead with greater self-acceptance and a goal of finding a way to bring everything in your life into balance. Let the roots of all your dreams go deep. Let the hopes of all your tomorrows grow high. Bend, but don't break. Take the seasons as they come. Stick up for yourself and reach for the sky. How fitting. How fitting. Understanding how the morning started. And that's why we're ending it off on a smile and positive notes of affirmation with each and every one of you, as we will do here every weekday from 5 o'clock until 6:30 for now, right here on CMRTV.com. Hi, Miss Gina Wilson. It's a pleasure to have you here. Yes, Miss Donna. You want one of them? There we go. Early. Give you one. Thanks to Miss Donna for that. But again, feel free to join into the conversation. I hope my guest does not have any problems. But I'm quite sure when she's back there, she will actually, I will see her and I will let her in so that we can hear more about this butter braid in Callaloo. And let me see if she mentions in a little bush tea, fever grass, and know about that. But yeah, let's see what we can do there. But in the meantime, yesterday I was talking, and I know Jim, this caught your are we going to 7 now? What you think? No, man. Eventually I will, Miss Donna. And you know what? I'm going to challenge each of my supporters. I know not all of you, there are reasons why, can actually call in and engage and participate in the conversations. And even if that is where this is going to go, we want to be cognizant that other people may want to weigh in. So to be as concise as you can, that allows a lot of the participation to happen as well. But it does make a difference when I'm actually engaging with you in how we can banter off each other. You all loved the co-hosting with Sandra when I was in training for the very first week. It's no difference when it comes to you all calling in, airing your concerns, trying to get clarity as we educate and inform our Cayman Islands and the wider public and even our brothers and sisters in the region. So it does make a difference going until 7, and anybody knows me. I don't have a problem when it comes to talking. I just got a problem almost getting used to this virtual world. It's like I'm sometimes talking to myself. So it really does make a difference when I do get a caller and we can engage accordingly and they can share your views. I weigh in and so forth. And there are times now, thanks to the power of gadgets and just where the world is going with technology, if needs be, sometimes we have the information at our fingertips that we can fact find and check as well. Now, not everything is like that though, but the bottom line of what I'm saying here, I would prefer quality versus quantity. And if this space actually demands a 2-hour show, your girl is all game. But I cannot sit here and be live with you to tell you I could just talk because of talk. That's a lot to do. I like to, engage with people as well. But thank you for the support. And you can see how easy it is to go to 7 o'clock. I don't have a problem, but I like to engage with other people. Hi, Miss Rose. It is a pleasure to have you join us this evening. But yeah, Dawn, I have no problem. And to everybody else who are huge supporters, Jim, yes, I have no problem going until 7. And I know Sandra will be going over the moon. Yes, I won. Yes, I got her until 7. But yeah, this space is all yours. And we want to definitely Yeah, we definitely want to expand it, and people are really becoming comfortable now, not only with my personality, but understanding exactly what this platform is all about, how the show is going to be handled, quite similar to the cold hard truth. But of course, I bring my own style, my own flair to it as well. And I just want everybody to participate. And honestly, this is your show. This is your show. This is your platform. This is your area. This is your safe space. And I give you my word to that. And whatever conversations that come up or needs to be discussed, you shouldn't feel any way about bringing it up here. And it's not getting after anyone. It is just airing the concerns and frustrations or even suggestions that may come up. Who knows better than you who are living in our society? And that is why this space is going to do definitely that. But I know Jim expressed his concern that he would want to hear more about sustainability. And I, at the very end of the show yesterday, you know, in Jamaica on July 6th to the 8th, there was the 49th CARICOM conference that took place down there. And at the end of the day, I started to state that the Cayman Islands back in May of 2002 became an associate member of CARICOM. You have full-fledged members, and usually those are Caribbean countries that are small in nature, but they band together. They're independent countries, and I think there's 15. Let me just make sure here. We have a number of those. We got like Antigua, Barbuda, Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Dominica, Grenada, Guyana, Haiti, Jamaica, Montserrat, St. Lucia, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Suriname, and Trinidad and Tobago. Now, they're outright full-fledged members of CARICOM. And associated members are Anguilla, Bermuda, British Virgin Islands, us, the Cayman Islands, Curacao, and Turks and Caicos Islands. We're associated members. And pretty much some of the benefits we're not entitled to as associate members because of us still being a British Overseas Territory jurisdiction. And therefore, we wouldn't be able to necessarily reap all of the benefits that are given to those who are full state members. But just because of where we are geographically located and the ties or threats with natural disasters, just our sheer size and all that sort of stuff, resources when it comes to trades and all that sort of stuff, national security is why it is imperative that the Cayman Islands is a part of this grouping and those partnerships and relationships maintained in good standing, even though we're a British colony, as I stated, like the other associate members. But what was interesting of that, the present chair is now the Prime Minister of Jamaica. And the discussions that took place down there, and the theme this year, quite interesting, was people, partnership, prosperity, promoting a secure and sustainable future. Now that's packed. Now we understand just the sheer location of where we are in comparison to our brothers and sisters in the Eastern Caribbean, you can understand why movement outside of air would be the best choice. But again, even when you look between Grand Cayman, the Cayman Islands, Little Cayman, Cayman Brac, Jamaica is only 4 to 5 minutes away, and we've had ties with them. What is being discussed and what the other Eastern Caribbean countries are actually engaging in is looking at how they can build a more resilient Caribbean, understanding the difficulties and challenges that are being faced with tariffs here that's happening right now in the US. And just use one island as an example, the Barbados. They export stuff into the US, and for years, they didn't have to pay import duty so that it could help them get their products to the US, in the US market and beyond. Now, with these tariff impositions, that's going to make it almost difficult. Now, that's only an example. I'm going to throw this out here just for example. Even though where we're located, like Jamaica and all the other Caribbean islands that I consider, that I mentioned, what if there's a sudden imposition or restriction or limitations that actually bars us from buying direct to the US? Example, What do we have built in as resilience to keep us sustained, to sustain us, even though we belong to the UK? Look at where we're geographically located. Let's say there are political unrests. We're seeing where there are gangs. We're seeing where there's a proliferation of even gang activities, bladed incidents, and crime overall. We're not immune from some of that seeping in here, which is why it's important to make sure we have National Security Council and security on our borders is, again, one of our priorities. Giving adequate funding to the Coast Guard, giving adequate funding and training to the RCIPS, even our uniformed services, and just making sure that career pathways are possible there so that we are not left out in the cold. But building these relationships and all of that, because we are part of SEDEMA, which is an emergency response. And I know Danny Coleman from Hazard Management, we've built in all of that in the event that we need resources. We know we have assisted post-hurricanes to our neighboring countries, but it doesn't only stop there. There are other things that the Cayman Islands is not immune to, and being a member state and being just aware of what's happening in the region is critical. But before I say more, welcome to the show, Calder. It's a pleasure to have you back.
Well, it's a pleasure to call. I'm just getting this thing every time I see you on the screen now. I want to call, but I don't know what it is.
Oh, it's just the number because I'm new. It's the number because I'm new, and a lot of people don't know. Yeah.
Well, first of all, are you confirmed for the Cold Hard Truth tomorrow morning to continue discussing sustainability?
It's a part 3 of Ponciana. I don't know if she was going into sustainability. Yeah, it was a part 3 of Ponciana.
Okay.
I'm waiting for a guest caller, and I knew at the end of the show yesterday, I started to talk about this, and because I didn't at that time yesterday had a guest until I got the confirmation of the Honorable Minister. So this is why, leaving off where I left off yesterday, I thought as I'm waiting for my guest to join me, that I would actually bring this up. Are you aware of what's happening over there?
No, I'm not aware of what's happening over there. Actually, what I wanted to pick, well, first of all, I'm interested in what you want to say about Ponciana tomorrow. So that's one of the reasons I asked, although I ended up mentioning sustainability. But while you wait for your guest, and of course you will tell me when your guest comes, because I don't want to steal into their time. Now, there's the issue that I mentioned to you this morning with Sandra. I just want to discuss that a little more. Now, I did mention at that time that there's lack of training in government for policy people, for how to develop legislation and judicial review and so on. And now I'll have to put you a little bit on the spot. When you joined and you became an MP and became a minister, did you feel that there was enough orientation for you in terms of understanding how to avoid being judicially reviewed, how to develop legislation, and how to analyze a bill in those 3 areas? Was there any training regarding that? I know you do go through a certain orientation about how Parliament works and so on and so forth. I'm not talking about that. Was there any training regarding those 3 aspects that I mentioned?
No.
Okay. And this is exactly where the problem is.
But we're guided. We're guided by our ministry team, to be honest. But to go directly about the training, Mr. Samamba, no. Yeah. And I know exactly what you do, and I know what you keep promoting. To be honest, more can be done. But if you look at even political science, now you go in and let me just digress a little bit. It should have been me, to be honest, having political aspirations, should also have been in tuned and aware, either do the necessary courses as well to help myself. But to actually throw yourself in for political office and expect outright training, I understand where you're going. Would you think that would be just a tad bit of disservice for the people that have elected you to serve when there is no downtime?
No, I believe that once you are elected and you become a servant of the public, and part of your duty is to develop legislation, avoid being second guessed in your decision, be able to analyze bills properly. I believe that the government owes you training for that. I'll tell you why I'm asking that. Among the many reasons, there's a person I know, his name is Dan Greenberg. The name won't mean much to you. He used to be a parliamentary counsel in the UK and quoted a lot in relation to the EU law and so forth. And he was also a co-instructor on a course on which we teach legislative drafting. He retired. And you know what he does now?
Wow.
He goes to different parliaments and he helps MPs to understand how to scrutinize bills. See, you can't scrutinize a bill properly unless you understand the principles of judicial review, you understand the principles of statutory interpretation, you understand also how drafters think and how the whole legislation is developed. And in my view, in the Cayman Islands, that is really lacking. And the pity of it is, I think things have been developed. Now, I don't want to self-promote here, but I want to just show that probably I have credibility on this. I had a course which I taught to people in planning. I taught a group there of about 20, 25. I don't like 25, but I taught 25, where we went through some of this. And it is very important. I wrote a little book about it, legislative process in the Cayman Islands, a little green book, 135 pages long. There's a binder of materials, specific Caymanian materials for that, a detailed PowerPoint to assist people in these courses. One course is the interpretation of statutes, the other one is judicial review, the other one is legislative process. There are some others, but those are the three I consider to be important. And to me, I just feel that this has gone to waste because I developed it in government to try and assist. And I think it's gone to waste because every time when issues arise in Parliament, I do not find that the debate actually is very high on the technical aspect. But that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you for your feedback. My guest is actually in the back. But thank you for assisting me in filling that void. And I hope that we could get some takeaway from that. This probably is something that we could probably go into a little bit more in the near future. But thank you again, as always. Thank you so much.
Take care. Cheers. Bye.
Sure. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. Can you see me?
No, I can't. You got your camera on? I'm just seeing emoji. Let me try to get you.
Okay.
You sure your camera isn't off?
Well, you can hear me, right?
I'm hearing you well. Yes, I'm hearing you well. I just can't see you.
That's not good.
You want to go out and come back in? Let me remove you. If you're hearing me, Nasaria, you maybe want to, yes, and come back in. Just bear with me. My family here. Let me just get Miss Nasaria back in here. Technology. But yes, continuing on, I'm just giving my guests a little bit time to log back in, hoping that she will get her camera sorted out. Let's see what Miss Bonnie is saying. Cayman should not even think of getting involved in a CARICOM thing. I'm not saying we should, and I would love to hear, we've had this discussion back in 2002. It wasn't to say we were getting involved. We are already associate members. Because we're still a British overseas territorial jurisdiction, Miss Bonnie. But yeah, this is real. Anthony, this group has had training by Mr. Miller, an introduction to the new standing orders. Okay. Oh, good. Yes, to standing orders. But I think what this caller was actually saying is whether or not we, let me try to bring this, whether or not they were actually getting training in how to understand like the standing orders and that sort of stuff. Let's see, Miss Nassar. Oh, I'm seeing you now.
Okay.
Welcome.
Hi.
There you go. Hi.
I decided it's best if I do it on my phone. because
okay. There you go.
yeah.
That always works. Well, welcome, Nasaria. And it's a pleasure to have you on the Sabrina Speak show for this, your first time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It is a pleasure to have you here. And we got hear all about butter bread and Callaloo. Hope you get a
Yes,
little Milo.
on the side.
Well, Nasaria, it is I hyped or tried to give a brief introduction to you, but knowing your background, you are a known poet, storyteller, an artist, and you have worked. I only know you being on the scene of the arts in the Cayman Islands, but how I want to showcase you today. I want to get more to know about you and what it's like from the lens of an artist here in the Cayman Islands, harnessing that creative side, know about the challenges that you face, the making a living if that is the case, because, and this is by no means making fun of you or any artist, but you all see things differently. And
We sure do.
That is not something easy for the average person who's not artistic to really grasp or understand. You like get a side eye sometimes, and then all of a sudden we're watching you perform and you're like, oh, that's it. She's an artist.
Right.
But do people even know you? Let's get to know Nasaria Suckoo
Sure.
and delve straight into how this whole world of being an artist evolved.
hmm Well, to begin with, I think one of the things that we were missing there is that I was an educator. So I was a drama teacher at the John Gray High School. For over 21 years, I was teaching. And I had just come back from Howard University in Washington, D.C. And the teacher before me decided to resign. And so all of a sudden, brand new teacher, I'm in the classroom by myself. And as I started to teach, I realized that I didn't have material. We didn't have enough material that sounded like us or that shared a lot about our environment, our experiences for our children to perform. So they were always having to perform with foreign accents.
Okay.
And that is how I started writing.
Because I can remember as a child, I went to it's now Sir John A. Comper Primary School. And even though I heard Mansa Boat in the sound, what resonated with me was Karame Akiko instead market with a basket on my head.
Right. Because that's what we grew up with.
Yeah.
Because a lot of our teachers are from Jamaica, and then they would teach us what they know. And so our history and culture was not that easily accessible. It wasn't accessible for the teachers either. It was very difficult for them to find materials. And harking back to who I am, as a child, everything that I felt, I either wrote it down in a poem, a story, or drew a picture of it. And so when my parents got on my nerves, I wrote a poem about it. Then I would hide them in the piano stool so they wouldn't find them.
All the time they're sitting on it.
I even I think I invented something before it came out. I sat and thought to myself, what if there was a phone that had a screen, and then when you answered the phone, the person could see you?
Oh, wow.
And I drew a picture of this dial phone with a screen on top. And I thought it was very comical that perhaps one day you might be in your towel. And what would happen if your towel accidentally dropped? So this is how creatives think all the time.
Right.
They're constantly feeling and experiencing the world and expressing what we feel. And I said to somebody recently, being a creative is like having eyes for skin, because we just feel with our entire body. We experience everything with all our senses. And certainly the difficulty can be that we are a bit of a square peg in a round hole sometimes when it comes to operating within the world's systems. But we're needed. That's the
Yes.
important thing.
Definitely. I mean, if life was a merry-go-round, how boring would that be? That's why we have the likes of a gym.
Right.
You agreed. You agreed.
Yes.
Incorporating this right now into your other career as a teacher and knowing what you have to instill in future generations to come,
Mhm.
how does that then translate into your true love and passion as an artist and poet and storyteller?
Mhm. Well, one of them is a vehicle for the other.
Mhm.
So I'm always teaching. I might have left the classroom after 21 years,
Right.
but through my work, I'm always trying to educate and share
Mhm.
our heritage and culture because every day I discover something new.
Mhm.
And I think that the best way to share this with our younger generations
Mhm.
is in a way that they can connect, right? So if I'm just having a lecture
Mhm.
and I'm just telling them, you all don't know nothing. Well, back in my day, they
Uh-huh.
shut down.
Yes.
But if you put it in a painting or you put it in a poem and have them wonder what that is when you
Mm.
mention it, then
Mhm.
it's an opportunity to open that conversation that they've
Mhm.
initiated, correct?
Right.
So that is the two of them go together. And a lot of my work is about making connections with the past. I look at our African retention. A
Mhm.
lot of my work is making that connection with that part of our history, and
Mhm.
also to highlight women's experiences,
Mhm.
Caymanian women.
Mhm.
And now that I've been working at Celebrate Cayman, the experiences of the seafarers is finding
Right.
its way into my work with a sort of a new um, honor for them
Right. Right.
because I have a better understanding now. Yes.
So you're always, I'm quite sure, performing when it comes to the seafarers.
Well, when you're talking to them, they're performing. Believe me, they are so amazingly animated when they get
Uh-huh.
an opportunity to talk about their history.
Mhm.
They have said to us at Celebrate Cayman, we recognize that we are soon leaving and we're going to take so much with us, and now
Yes.
we really want to talk. So
Mhm.
I'm just there gobbling it up because I know it's going to end up coming out in something that I create.
Something. Yeah.
Yes, in honor of them.
Now, over the years, you've wrote many of poems for children and pretty much all ages. How do you see what you're doing now, your collection of books leading into this whole buttered bread and callaloo? How do you see you transitioning? Do you think your approach has changed? Do you want to create work now that it's for a different age group? How have you grown as you,
Mhm.
looking back at when you started and where you are today, even in your arts?
Yes. So in the very beginning, I was creating out of necessity,
Hmm.
even though it was very much an intrinsic part of who I am.
Right.
And then as time went on, it became very crucial for me to be able to express myself,
Hmm.
and to be able to interpret what's happening around me. There's a lot happening around us. And
Right.
sometimes, if you do not have artists to help you to see your way through that,
Hmm.
you can lose your way. A country can lose its way. It has
Way.
artists are its reflection. We
Hmm.
reflect what's happening within the culture, right?
Hmm.
So as time has gone on, that has become more important. But recently, you get older, you don't have the energy to be in the classroom and be as active as
Uh-huh.
you probably should.
Right.
Um, and now I'm moving into that phase where I'm passing on things. I'm apprentice. I have an apprentice. I'm trying to make sure that the skills and the love that I have for
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
creativity is passed on. I don't think I'll ever stop creating art. It's something that, it's something that I love, but it's something that I have to do. I'm
Right.
drawn, I'm propelled to do it.
Hmm.
But in this phase of my life, I want to do it a whole lot more. I want to have that time to really express myself,
Right.
and then also to share that internationally. So I got an opportunity recently to perform in New York.
Tell us
I
about that.
I performed a cranky story. So cranky is it's you've seen them in maybe old English movies where it's a wooden box. It has two dowels on the side, and the story is illustrated on a long piece of paper, and it's coiled around one side. Then it comes across, and it's coiled around the other dowel, and then you turn it like this as you tell the story. They're usually accompanied with music. But Randy and I were invited to perform at a cranky festival in New York, and we were the first. It was the first cranky I ever did, and it was the first time that I think any Caymanian had ever performed a cranky, and everybody else in the show had experience. And when I tell you the reception to I told a duppy story.
Did they know what dapper was?
I had to explain it to them. And it's funny because a lot of the children were saying guppy instead of duppy. But they listened to that story so intently that they asked questions afterwards that helped me to see that they really had bought into the story and wanted to know more. They wanted, and they felt so sorry for the duppy. It was funny that they connected with the duppy. So I want to do more of that because I also still have to set the example for younger generations to say, don't be afraid to step out. Know that Cayman has something awesome and unique to offer in the world. Let's go out there and do it as well. Right. And we had another invitation to perform. I had to turn that one down just due to timing in New York again for a Caribbean organization. And there's a couple more on the horizon. So that is what I want to do. I want my book to be on Amazon. I'm working on that, and to be an ebook.
Good.
Because that is a way of selling this island and its heritage. This is cultural tourism. This is what I'm interested in doing, because I got tired of being in college and hearing people say, "Oh, Cayman, what do you have to offer? What history is there?" And now we've uncovered so much. There's so much richness left to be discovered. And I think it is our responsibility to make sure that we let the world know about who we are.
Now, I've attended a number of Red Sky at Night. I've attended a lot of national functions and have seen you performed at private and gatherings as well, NGO events. Is it lucrative? How do you sustain yourself in this type of environment? Because there's one thing of showcasing your creative side, let's say in a piece of artwork or in a book. What is it like in that world in order to sustain yourself?
Right. It can be scary because most of my life I've had to have a second job, right? So I have the art and I have my job. The good thing about it is a huge part of my personality is service. And so I taught, and then I ran a foster home, and I didn't see that as something that I had to do just to support my art. I want to do both. But for some artists, it is very, very difficult for them. I think first of all, you have to build up your reputation here and reach out to your clientele, but also to get our own people to understand that to value us as artists, it's a very difficult thing. There's that idea that you're just local. And yet when you put your work up against somebody internationally, or you perform internationally, we take the center stage all the time.
By somebody else and not your own. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? Is it because it's a change of culture and we take our own uniqueness, who we are, our culture for granted because we see it every day and not realizing the golden nugget that we have.
Right. And there's a sense of competitiveness here that, that also affects that. And we're unable to just honor and laud our creatives. There's also one of the things that I experienced that was really difficult. I wasn't working for about 3 years, and not by choice. I was looking for work, and I just, we were trying to also make a living just on our talents.
Right.
At that time, we said, well, let's just do that. But because we had performed or done charity or been in schools for free before that, it was very difficult to get people to
To
understand
monetize
that.
it.
Right. And then also to recognize that there is value in what we do. We're not just playing. Sometimes it takes my husband 3 months to complete a piece because he's a very intense artist. It takes money to produce my book. It takes time for the inspiration to come from within you onto the canvas to create a piece, and it's full of emotions, right? It drains you sometimes. And so we really need to start thinking about supporting our own people in that way, and understanding that we serve a real purpose here in the country for the culture and the heritage.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, do you all have like an association where a group of local artists come together in one voice? Because obviously, I'm quite sure what you've experienced is not anything strange or foreign to any of the other artists.
Right.
Do you guys like have a association, or so that it's not just Nasaria that you're hearing from?
No, we don't. What we had was our collaborative group, Native Sons. And that I said had because in the past we were a group that would come together. We'd critique each other. We wanted to create an aesthetic that was from the inside of a Cayman house looking out, not outside looking in, right? So it was to be a very Caymanian experience, and we all accomplished that. But we all have individual careers now, so we're not operating as a group.
Only because you have to subsidize your own income.
Yes.
Because it's just not sufficient. So, oh, wow.
And there are some artists who do very, very well and have always worked for themselves as well. So they manage. But the majority of people have to split their time and their focus in between taking care of yourself physically and financially, and then creating the work. And it would be wonderful if we had some programs that would like an ambassadorship, the same way that we do for some sports figures, to be able to just even sometimes 2-3 years of being able to have that opportunity is you'd be so grateful for that, because you could just focus on your work.
Correct.
Yeah, so that would be great. But we do have a lot of, the gallery does support a lot of our work in terms of an Artist Away grant, like if you have to travel and represent Cayman away, and then the CNCF has the Artist Grant program, which has been great. We've gotten a lot of support from that.
Okay. Miss Nasaria, guess what? You got your first caller.
Ooh.
Good evening, caller. You're live on Sabrina Speaks with Nasaria Suckoo.
Hi, Sab.
Hi.
Hi, Mr. Koo.
Hi. Oh, that's a student. Once they say
Yes,
Mr.
it is.
Koo, who is it?
Nathina.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. I was just curious when you stated there's no program. So the Culture Foundation is not a part of Cayman Local Arts?
Oh, the Cultural Foundation is there as an organization, but they are not responsible for advocating and mandating for the artist. So
okay, because I remember when you had us in high school, I did art, and we had the student exchange program where we were able to go and see other art and appreciate our own. Maybe you can start back that, because I know that's no longer happening, and that would be an avenue that can rebuild what was lost.
Yes, absolutely. As a matter of fact, several artists here now have apprentices. So they're using that program as well to be able to support the next generation. But the Cultural Foundation and the National Gallery and also the National Museum, they do have programs within them that helps to support and the arts and to support the artist. But in terms of advocating for you, for your rights, for your financial freedom, those type of things, that wouldn't be their mandate.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Are you going to put on? Yeah, it makes sense. Are you going to put on a show that we can see your artwork?
I had a solo show at the National Gallery, maybe I can't remember the year, but it's been just a couple of years, maybe 3-4 years ago. And so right now I've actually been focusing on writing more so than creating physical work. However, there is a plan for my husband and I to do a joint show. Hopefully within the next year. We want to produce our own exhibition.
Nice.
Well, I would say, Ms. Suckoo, thanks to you, I've maintained drawing and I've maintained writing short stories.
Oh, wow.
This is awesome.
See the influence
So
you have?
Yes.
I would like you to know that you did leave something behind, especially for the class of 99, of course. Right?
Aw.
And I want to say that you are, I don't think there's no other drama teacher, and I wish you would go back to John Gray.
I wish I had the energy to go back to John Gray because I loved it. But
I still even have the assignment that you gave us for part. We had to do makeup and dress up and all kind of stuff. So I use it as my profile or portfolio that we had to create.
Right.
So I keep that with your picture in a special folder.
Well,
so I want you to know from me, if I don't know if for everybody else who you had as a student, but for me, you imprinted something inside.
Oh, that's
well,
sweet.
Thank you so much. That is so wonderful to hear. That was your costume and design project for your exam.
Yes.
I have not forgotten those. And listen, this is legacy for me. And it happens quite often. And I'm I told somebody the other day, yes, I taught Frankie Flowers. He's amazing. Yes, I taught Grace Geely. She's amazing. Luigi Moxham. Elizabeth. But I am just as proud of every single student that just tells me art is still a part of my life.
Yeah.
That is a major accomplishment. And that's a big change because I remember parents encouraging children not to take my class because what would you do with drama?
It's so true because I got a book offer 4 years ago, and when my mom got cancer, I couldn't publish my book.
Right.
So,
well, let me encourage you. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you, but let me encourage you to reach out to Design Co. That is Cara Co, who helped me with my book. Cara is amazing. And she sees your dream as her dream.
All right.
And she can walk you through the steps. It was the easiest process I've ever been through to create something and to get it out into the public.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because right now I have a fan base of like 5,000 that follows me because I write my stories and I publish them live. So I write them right there and publish them with all the arrows.
So I can find you on Instagram?
You can find me on Facebook, actually.
On Facebook? Okay.
Yeah, it's called Intimate Experiences. I write erotic stories.
Okay, that is.
We weren't doing that in high school. Well, this is wonderful. This is really, really good. We need more writers. We need more women writers. So I'd encourage you, please, to just keep doing it. And if you need any help, find me. I'm on Facebook. I'm not always responsive to that, but I definitely respond very quickly on Instagram.
This Cayman, your house not hard to find.
Where do I live?
Don't worry, I can find that out before the day done.
Okay. All right, knock on the door. We don't have any dogs.
All right.
That is so sweet
thank
of you,
you.
caller. Thank
You're
you so
welcome.
much for sharing that. And I'm quite sure, Miss Nasaria, that must have touched you differently.
Yes, every time it happens.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. Have a
Bye
good evening.
bye.
You too.
And my husband often says, like, how many students did you have again? Because everywhere we go, somebody goes, Miss Suckoo. And that's how I know that they were in my classroom.
Oh, wow.
But
You picked
no,
it up
this,
immediately.
yes,
You picked
yes,
that up immediately.
yes.
Now, go
There's
ahead.
a certain tone that they use, and I know that, yeah.
Now, tell us about this book, Buttered Bread and Callaloo. Tell us
Yes.
about that. That's your latest project right now. And I mean, I
Right.
want to know exactly when you find the most creative side of yourself to either do painting or to get lost into writing. But I want to know more about Buttered Bread and Callaloo.
Well, this one started off as, I'll show you the book. This one started off as I was writing for the Festival of Arts quite often so that our children would have something to perform, to read, that they can recognize themselves within.
Right.
And so for many years, I'd been writing. They were on pieces of paper, on, files in my computer, and somebody would call me and say, oh, send me a poem for this. And I'd send them off. And then finally, during lockdown, I said, I have got to find all these poems, because I will tell you that losing a poem for me feels like I've lost a child.
Right.
I feel the same way about my art, like something getting damaged or a person not taking care of the one that they purchased. Not a good feeling at all. And so I pulled them together, every scrap of paper I could find, and started doing the editing. And I was so lucky to run into some of the best people to help me along this journey. One of them was Dr. Stephanie let me get it right, Fullerton Cooper from UCCI. She's a professor there. And she just encouraged me. I found out she had been lecturing on my writing and my poetry at international events.
Oh, wow.
And so she was already very, sort of bought into the work. And so she helped me to edit and set my book up. And then, of course, I mentioned Callaloo, who then took on the design and did a great job. All of the paintings in this book, the illustrations, are my artwork.
Right.
And the great thing about it is that these are the ones that I did when I first started painting. And you know how your family buys them to help you out because nobody knows who you are.
You are, yes.
And so these have not seen the light of day. They've been in people's houses.
Oh, wow.
And I decided that it was time that if I include them in the book, then people would get to see them, because it's always important to show like where you come from.
Yeah.
In terms of your work. And this is my grandmother. It's an image of my grandmother from East End, Miss Ruby Pearson. So the book itself, then I pulled all those poems together and put them in a book. And this is the children to teenage edition. I've also written more mature poetry about our community, social issues, those type of things. And that will be in my second book. Hopefully next year, that one will be ready to come out.
Now, some of the challenges that you face, I think in our discussion, I didn't understand, I didn't realize you mentioned something about health insurance.
Yes.
As one of the challenges. Can you just expound on that a bit more for context?
Well, a lot of artists that I know, expressive people tend to have emotional issues as well, or we're such emotional beings. We often need to have some help to sort of process, because we walk into a space and we soak up all the energy from that room. And if that space, we have world issues, we have issues within our society, it soaks into you and it becomes very difficult. And so what made me start to think about healthcare for artists is that knowing a couple of people who struggle quite a bit.
Right.
And then cannot access the care that they need to, because they can no longer work. So they don't have proper health care. And I do remember that in the past, there was a policy that was written up that was going to look at offering artist health insurance, assistance with health insurance. And I thought that would be something that would, anything would help for some people. But when you get to this point in life where you start to get older, you start to have health issues.
Yeah.
Sometimes some people are forced to continue to work and not take care of themselves because they have to maintain their health insurance.
Right.
And we're missing out on what they could produce and what they could show because they're so busy trying to just keep themselves alive. Right. And so I think that's something that we need to think about. I know that our government shouldn't be expected to do everything for everyone. But there are such things as patrons that we can consider. A lot of artists in the past have had that person in the community who says, this work is important and this person, what they have to say is important. And here's what I can do for them. And so I just think that that's something that we should really start thinking about, how important artists are. And I'm talking about all genres and why we should really try to help artists to be able to produce consistently. Yeah.
Now, looking forward in actually trying to create more of a welcoming space for artists, what recommendations would you actually present if, you had that one shot where you had all the ears of those persons that can make a difference nationally? What would be some or one particular recommendation you would suggest understanding how much years you have been in this space? You have not given up. You've heard the testimonials from that past student of class in 1999, and some names that you called out. It is pretty amazing because I've seen Luigi Moxham out at a cabana. And as a matter of fact, tonight is Thursday night. Stick a pin. Tonight is farm to table night out there, and he's having he will probably be out there in a thatch hat, dancing to the beats and the rhythm of a young Caymanian artist playing the steel pan, and it's amazing what he does. But I mean, even Faith Geely and the names that you call, these were all your past students,
right?
Nasaria, you were on to something here.
Yeah, and those of them who didn't decide to go directly into the arts as a career have used it within their everyday life. I mean, Gemma McLaughlin works in marketing.
Yes.
And she's excellent at it. Fritz McPherson has been on the stage, but then he's also put that creativity into a lot of the things that he does. Like he raised goats. He decided I want to do these things. The arts teach you to come outside those blocks.
So you're not confining yourself,
right? And think creatively. But one of the things that we suffer from not having is a central place. I know many countries have studios for artists, and it brings them all, even if you're paying rent for it. But it brings them all into the into the central space where you can bounce ideas off, you can collaborate. Collaborations have been amazing for us. We produce a show called The Red Boat Experience, which is an improvisational musical experience centered around the Cayman drum, the kitchen drum. But it's infused with poetry, storytelling, dance, any other genre that we could think of to infuse into it. But everything is made up on the spot right there on the stage.
Oh, wow.
And it's a whole vibe. When people leave, when we're closing the curtains, there are literally people in the front going like, don't close, don't stop. Like we could stay there for 6 hours and they would want us to be there. They've described it as a spiritual experience and they love it. But what's more amazing is those musicians on the stage just vibing with each other and what comes out of that, right? So that space to do that in is what is missing. We're all isolated. We're all doing our own thing. And having that central space would be just amazing. And I know that the National Gallery has done some, if they did have an artist in residency program where there was, I think it's called A Day in the Life, and there were 3 of us
Right.
in a studio, and I love that. And so I think more of that would be really important for us to
Now,
have.
do you feel, remember, Chamber of Commerce used to have like a business after hours. Do you think maybe something like that with the right sponsorship, if you start looking into it, that exactly what you've described maybe could be an evening right there on Cardinal Avenue, understanding you're protected right there. I call it the yellow brick road.
Yes.
You can have that right there. So you're not actually blocking Seafarers Way, Harbor Drive, but all down there, and you have the artisans come out. And I'm quite sure, not speaking on behalf of the Ministry of Culture, you know, would you mind putting something like that, a proposal together, and you can also get corporate sponsorship as well? Because what you just described is amazing.
And
I think more of that
we,
needs to be done, be it quarterly or once a month, or something, but do it in Georgetown, the square, bringing life back.
And we've experienced something similar to that. I don't know if you remember Arctic Governors.
Yes,
I was very similar to that. And Red Sky at Night has that same sort of thing. And what's important for us to do is to also bring out the collectors, right?
Okay. Right.
That's the key thing, because we do Cayman Art Week as well.
Oh, okay.
That was amazing. But what you need is for people to understand that it takes a lot for us to create these things. It's not just a showcase. Come out and make sure, don't go to Cuba and buy something for $4 to $5. I love Cuba, but don't do that when you have your own artists right here, making what is considered unique works, because a lot of those cheaper works in Cuba are, they're one person does the tree, the next person does the house. It's assembly line. If you try to buy a real piece of art from an established artist in Cuba, you will have to search high and low. It is very difficult because Cuba tends to want to keep their art in their country.
Oh,
yeah, and so we need to make sure that we have those investors, those collectors, come together with the artists. I think that's the space we need to create.
Gotcha.
Right. And I look forward to it. I know that there's a couple of people talking about those type of things right now, and hopefully we may see one within the next maybe year or so. But anybody that wants to jump on that idea, please,
of course,
let's do it.
Definitely welcome. And that is what we need to do, is to just harness this opportunity, or even like maybe one of the businesses on the waterfront may see an opportunity that, this could be a possibility of not only bringing traffic to their establishment. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be waterfront. It could be anywhere.
Yes.
Because looking at the slow season now, quote unquote, we have people that are spending thousands of dollars coming here. And because we're saying it's the slow season, this is creativity right here that they may want to see what we're capable of.
Exactly.
And there is nowhere outside, of course, going to the gallery and stuff. But what I'm saying, bringing that flair, that islandy flair, having an event or two, even maybe once or twice during the 6 weeks school being out and people are on summer vacation. We understand weather is a factor, but what I'm saying, I think you get the gist of where I'm going.
Yes.
Where there is a lull, we can be creative in giving opportunities of our artisans that opportunity that you're just not only out there for cruise ships. It is for both stay over, for your residents alike, and it brings us together. Like what you created, doing the that traditional Caymanian music. You got, your likes of Swanky. Everybody is out there having a good time.
Yes, exactly. And that is the time period to be creative, because as you said, we call it the slow season, but it doesn't have to be slow.
Exactly.
And it's a time where we can fit ourselves in and create opportunities for ourselves. One thing that people don't realize is what a privilege it is that your artists are reachable. They're right within your reach. And so take advantage of that. Talk to the artists. Get to know why they create, what they've created. That doesn't always happen in other countries. A lot of times you are meeting the art through an agent, and it's a huge privilege to actually meet with the artist.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
And yeah, so I agree that is an opportunity that's right there. And let's be smart about it. It's hot in the middle of the day. So if we do stuff at night, it's a beautiful thing.
But remember, the sun sets late now too, because it's
Yes.
7 o'clock. It's still pretty bright outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have another caller. Good evening, caller. You're live on Sabrina Speaks.
Good evening, and hello, Miss Nasaria.
Hello.
It's Lorna Bush.
Hi.
And, oh yeah, you know that I'm big fan base all on my own.
Right. I'm a fan of you too. So
I love your work. I love your poems, and if I ever get an opportunity to actually perform one, you know how great it makes me feel.
Yes.
A lot of feeling with your stuff. I just love it. But something you were saying, or maybe Sabrina was saying, that caused me to think, like during these off seasons, slow seasons, if we were to create something that appeals to our visitors, but also combine it with an authentic function for locals. So let's say in the daytime, we have art on display, we have some swanky, we have some music. And in the evening, then it can transition into a lovely fish fry opportunity where locals want to come. So, you know, what am I trying to say?
I see what you're trying to say.
We can make an event that covers both things. It gives the visitors a very rich experience. But we can also use the same venue, the same artist, the same features, whatever the resources are. If we have some of our, let's say, the sculptors, and of course I'm thinking Horacio Esteban, thinking Randy and Gordon and people like that, who have such an appeal to visitors and locals alike. But give them more exposure. And you know, with us, we gotta do some food. I don't know. Just something to explore, and it doesn't always have to be a multi-million-dollar venue or something that's, you know. Anyway, just want to say that I want you to keep on doing what you're doing because you're amazing.
Thank you, Miss Lorna.
Thank you, caller.
So appreciate that.
Yes.
Yeah,
it
we
does
don't
make a difference, man. You see what I'm saying? It makes a difference.
Yes.
When people call in, it's a total different feeling. It's a total different vibe. We're providing this platform to showcase not only you, but to get a glimpse of what it is from your lens. But there are challenges as well. But look at what came from this. You got a testimonial from a past student. I've learned a lot in regards to who your students were, and we see what they have become. But then it's not all glitz and glamour either. It's the real world out there because you still have to survive. But then from this came a possible opportunity of one day, possibly, maybe a national event, something that's on the community calendar, be it quarterly, but specific for this time of the year. This could just like how the story time, what do you call that?
Give me a story.
Just like how that is almost at the end of the year, we could have like a lead up to that in the slow time and showcase all of the work.
Absolutely. And I mean, we're not reinventing the wheel here.
Nope.
We have events that are very similar. What we need is a consistency.
Correct.
So that people can know to expect this. That's what's happened with Give Me a Story.
That's
what's happened now with Art Week. It's a build up. And so that is definitely very possible.
Right. Now, do you care to share maybe a little snippet or share with one of your poems or with us this evening to get people? I need to see exactly that drama teacher that was in there. And I know the class of 99 and all the other students who you actually had an impact on knows you're just not going to be on here talking this evening, that we're going to get a glimpse of maybe one or two of your pieces.
Sure. So
whatever resonates with you this evening.
Okay. The first one I'm going to do is John Canoe is Coming.
Uh-huh.
And the reason this poem is important is because it actually brings up the word John Canoe so that our children will know that that existed here before, and that then they can ask questions about it.
Mm-hmm.
And they can get a picture of what that looks like. So
right. Mm-hmm.
John Canoe is coming. John Canoe is coming. See them marching down the street. Hear the whistles blowing, mama. Hear the stomping feet. I see the flags waving right there by the Jew plum tree. You don't see them, mama? They try and frighten me. Toot, toot, toot goes the whistle. Stomp, stomp, stomp goes the feet. Yeah, 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 they are shouting. I'm not afraid. I'll stay right here and peep. Oh, look at all the colors. Red, black, orange, green, and blue. I don't know who they're trying to scare. It's not going to be me, so it must be you. Oh boy, they're getting closer. I can see the shakes in their hands. They're playing the drums like Aunt Julia and scraping grater like a kitchen band. Ch-ch-ch goes the maracas. Dum diddly dum goes the drum. I not go and hide, mama. I go and wait right here till they come. Look, that one has a cow head, mama. And the next one is 10 feet tall. Ooh, two of them is on fire. See the smoke coming out of their eyeballs? Goes the monster. High, high, high steps the giant. I am not hiding under the bed this time. I'm standing here defiant. They're right next door by Aunt V's yard. They are heading here for us. Look at the long teeth that one has, and hear that ghoulish chorus. Woo, 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 where are the children? Grr, 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 send them out. Har, 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 we have something for them. Ooh, they'll scream and shout. Rumpa-pum-pum goes my heartbeat. Dollop, dollop, dollop goes my feet. I'm not interested in your presence. I under mama's dress. It's time to go sleep.
Mm-hmm. Aw. And this is in that book.
Yes.
That is entitled
Buttered Bread and Callaloo.
And how can people get this book? I know we have the links up there, but right now, is this available in Book Nook? Just say how people can get their hands on this book.
We have the book at the Book Nook. It's also at the National Gallery gift shop and the National Museum gift shop.
Mm-hmm.
So those are 3 areas. And then if you reach out to me on Messenger or Instagram and you want to pre-order a book, because it's a good problem to have. I'm almost out of books.
Wow.
So I'm reordering. Thank you.
Yes.
And hopefully those will be here in the first couple of weeks of August. So you can pay for one, or you can just reserve one. And when they're in, then I would let you know, and we can do that delivery for you.
I hope you know I'm going to allow you to read a shorter one for Miss Lucille, who's over there in the United Kingdom. And everyone can see I'm here not sleeping. Eyes wide open for how long I cannot. She can't miss a day. She Miss Shelma though, but will stay up with me. So Miss Shelma called in first, and she has to do an errand. She has to go out on the road, Miss Lucille. But I'm hoping that you're being entertained and inspired by the works of Miss Nasaria Suckoo, and I hope that, as calming as it is in her theatrics, how she's able to perform here with us in this space, that it doesn't put you to sleep, but maybe she may choose one almost like a little lullaby to put you to bed because of your time zone. Let's see.
How about if I choose one that's nostalgic?
Okay, let's go.
So this is Lord, I Didn't Know. When I was rising up with pink-tipped clouds and pushing through inland bush, when I was cutting tops and plaiting thatch and sewing baskets and making rope and ragging rugs, when I was busy living, I didn't know I was making history. Lord, I did not know. When I was stomping up to Highland grounds in Wampert feet and waltzing over Cliff Rock, when I was pulling up roots and planting back and cutting hands and mashing flesh and boiling dumplings whole. When I was busy surviving, I didn't know I was making history. Lord, I did not know. When I was sitting heart sore on lonely bays, lips giving praise when I was racked with fear and belly bawling, and hushing sobs and still smiling, and begging that sea to bring him back. When I was busy praying, I didn't know I was making history. Lord, I did not know. When I was cutting, catching, crying, climbing, washing, wading, waxing, kneading, knotting, mixing, mothering, fathering, feeding, flinging, backing, bartering, battening, budgeting, baking, bearing, loving. I didn't know I was making history. Lord, I didn't know. But now that I am older, wiser, gray, I want you to know all them sucker trees, plants, and roots you harvesting come from my grounds. And I am the mother of your reaping, gathering, hoarding, grazing, amassing, gleaning, grabbing, living good. I was making history. Lord, I did not know.
Oh, wow. Oh, how nice. Again, and those are some of the content that is included in this book. And I really hope that the links are there, that they will either go down to Book Nook and or reach out to you on your contact information that we have posted on the link below this, and that you will see the fruits of your labor, and we will see much more. Now, what is in the making for the future? I mean, you're doing this, and what's in store? What's next?
The second book is next. Maybe a duet show, let's call it, with my husband. But also, I'm going to grab hold to a lot more of those invitations to perform internationally.
Right.
And we're going to...
Are you going to capture those international performances? Because there's one thing, CMR TV is definitely going to make waves here. And one of our commenters, Shaka Zulu, states that what is missing from much of this is CMR TV's ability to broadcast the talent of those artists and on some levels of regularity for those who are unable to attend in person, many being abroad, etc. And I totally get where Shaka Zulu is going with that. And that's exactly the content creators that we do have in the CMRTV.com family will be highlighting artisans. And again, who to tell, Nasaria? There could be some opportunities right here for you as well.
Yes, exactly. And we do have the cranky that we did in the States. There is a video on YouTube of us performing, and we can make that available. But we will do, when a lot of these are planned by other people, and they always record it, but the standard is not something that we would have a lot of control over. Sometimes it's just a wide shot, but certainly it's something that I can put on my rider to say we would really like to have the opportunity to make sure that we get this recorded so that we can share it here, because we're not forgetting about our people here when we go to perform over there. There's no way. This is our bread and butter. This is Cayman is where all my inspiration comes from. And it's one of the reasons why people say, you should go abroad, you should live abroad. Maybe there are more opportunities. I'm inspired by what comes from within me here. Yeah. And I don't know how I could express myself if I was not living here.
But it's amazing that actually people are saying, what they're actually saying is for you to be appreciated, go someplace else.
Yeah.
What you are steadfast on building is making sure where this information is, this whole artistic gathering is coming from is home. Yes. You want to be appreciated at home as well, and then share it with those abroad. But it's almost seems as though you got to do it reverse in order to be accepted in your own home, which is pretty sad.
Yeah, this has been the truth. But I'll tell you what the wins are. When I'm walking through a supermarket and I hear a parent say, you see that lady? That's the lady that wrote the poem for you that you perform at Festival of Arts. And the child goes, Nasaria Suckoo Chalet? And they say, yes. And this child came up to me and said, are you Nasaria Suckoo Chalet? Poor things, they have to say all three of my names. And
it's
I
your
said,
brand.
yes. I said yes, and the child looked at me, and this happened twice. I never thought I'd ever see you, and that is because
Wow.
they think that writers are foreign people who have lived somewhere else or have died.
Oh, wow.
And so for them to know that the writer is standing right in front of
Front
them,
of them.
that is key for them to understand that they too can be writers.
I'm hoping
So,
that by means of this medium and other mediums here locally, that you all will exactly what you described, that we can change that
yes.
that perspective, that narrative, and that collectively the appreciation to all artists, like you even called Al, that you are understood, but not only that, respected by us, by your
Yes.
own. And then
Yes.
that is then more even motivating and inspiring for you to go over and be ambassadors through your artistry
Right.
that is honestly a God-given talent.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we can honestly really grow to appreciate and respect that it's not easy being an artist. Like you rightfully say, it drains you
Right.
in order to translate your emotions, those feelings, and have that come out into a piece of sculpture, into an oil painting or whatever you use for painting. And then here you are making such beautiful poems that you can actually make a books. For one who's not an artist, I can only imagine what that's like.
Yes. And this is the thing about what the key word that you just said, and this is something I want everybody to hear, is respect. I think that is, we have fans. We all have groups of people who love our work. We've all felt that success. It's not all doom and gloom,
Right.
but the respect of our own people, for them to respect your opinion when
Right.
you're in groups creating or curating, to not be treated like so commonly. This is something that we've experienced a lot, to where we're the byword, where that's them crazy people, they're artists, they're kooky. And I think we need to stop that. Now it's time.
Yeah. Well, I know, again, I said it at the beginning of the show that you're often misunderstood because you're an artist, and until you
Yes.
actually see you perform or see your work, that's when it really clicks, that it's not that you're weird at all. You can't just, you got to give you all the respect that is due, and we're all unique in our own way. But Nasaria,
Yeah.
it has been a pleasure hosting you right here on the
Thank
Sabrina
you.
show, Speak show this evening. And I'm wishing you all success. I am hopeful that this will not be the last time we will be able to showcase you here and assist you in getting it out there, along with other artists here in the Cayman Islands. And, for the sake of our viewing audience and for those who may be joining us at a different time, parting words, contact information, whatever it is, this is your moment.
Always remember that you can be a doctor, lawyer, accountant, but you need to be a balanced human being. And remember that the arts allows you to do that, to express yourself in that way as well. And Sabrina, stop saying you're not an artist, because you never know, right?
It's true. It's true.
The books are available at the Book Nook, and I'm huge thank you for them, because they just took me on board, no questions asked, and they were amazing. And the National Gallery gift shop and the National Museum gift shop, those are the three sources right now, and eventually we hope to be on Amazon.
Well, again, it has been a pleasure, and I am looking forward to more great work. And as I stated, and I'm quite sure you will get the support here. As you can see, people are interested and wanting more, but it's just amazing reading it and getting to know you. I hope that this was able to give a better glimpse into Nasaria Suckoo, based on how you articulate and how you perform those two pieces just now, that when you do get your hand, you go and you purchase your own book, that you can hear that voice in the backdrop, and just it's like a performance. And I wish you all success, Nasaria. All the best.
Thank you so much. I wish the same for you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Have a good evening.
Good evening.
Well, that brings us to the end of another Sabrina Speaks show right here on cmrtv.com and through the multiple social media pages. And I hope that you enjoyed that interview with Miss Nasaria. And I kudos to the class of 99 and to that caller for that testimonial. That was so touching, so inspiring. And, that's what this space is all about. Creativity and showcasing our very own. It has been a wonderful, it has been my pleasure again being here with you this evening. And I'm looking forward tomorrow as we enter the weekend. Remember, Cabana is having, yes, farm to table this evening, and Luigi could be down there in some short pants, more than likely, in a thatch hat. And there's going to be a young man playing the steel drums. I don't know what's on the menu. I could get that the next time. But yeah, Thursday night is farm to table. Take your friends and family, go down there and just enjoy that. The view is amazing and the food is even better. Until tomorrow, have a great evening and thank you. It has been my pleasure.
That's a wrap for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks. Thank you for tuning in and for being part of the conversation. Remember, the dialogue doesn't stop here. Stay engaged, stay informed, and most importantly, stay empowered. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m., same time, same place, right here on CMR TV and radio, where your voice matters and your truth is heard. Until then, Cayman, take care of yourself and each other.
That's it for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks, where your voice matters, your story counts, and your truth is always welcome. Join us weekdays from 5 until 6:30 p.m. right here on CMR TV as we dive into the topics that matter most to you. Catch the show live or on demand at cmrtv.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram so you never miss a moment. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and always speak your truth.